Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to week I forgot what it is, but we got a good matchup, probably one of the most anticipated games of the season. Corsia versus Morning Light. Last game, absolute nail biter. I think it was a one round differential, and it was a really good and close game that I think anybody would be excited to see a rematch of. And it's on another more standard map, probably even more because it is not metal. It is snake water this time around, and yeah, I haven't really been here for the past week or so, but from what I've seen, both these teams have been at the same level, if not probably better from at least one of these. And there's a couple ringers coming in on both teams, so I'll try and get you to them. So, I'm gonna start with Morning Light. They have everyone except for Dingo, which they have Laz, aka Ringer. Starting from the Pocket Scout, it's Sandblast, Alpha, Soapy, Laz, Psy, and Azen. And Corsia they're kind of bringing back Ascent from last season a little bit. They have Brand Slam Combo Scout. Yite is missing right now, so they have Botman on flank, Trip on Roamer, High Five on Pocket, Alex on Demo, and Zilly on Med. Because from what I've known, Yite's not playing right now, so they had to find someone else, and Ash is currently unavailable, so they had to find another ringer. So they brought these two guys in, which I think everybody can agree that all these ringers are pretty quality. There's no massive downgrades on any sides. So with this match not starting yet, I think the main people to look out in this game is, especially with Laz coming, I think again it's going to be a lot on how these mids are going to work. I think Soapy and Laz, if Soapy can try and keep getting stuff going, I think they definitely have something good. They're going to play a probably slower style as all side teams play, because that's just how he likes to play, and you kind of got to play at that pace. A lot of the game is probably going to be a lot of trades, a lot of sniper, stuff like that. And I think you could definitely agree that Corsia is the underdog in this matchup last time, not having a great game. But they did come back with another win against Wonderwall, who actually lost to Witness Gaming in the past week. I didn't expect, but that's pretty good for Witness Game. But one thing is Corsia, I think, I don't know if to say, I'd say if anything, these are two side grades, maybe downgrades, but it looks like we are starting right now. I'm going to say the score will be, I'm going to say 4-3 for Morning Light. And we're going to be getting into this first mid. Both demos, both going saw room, same speed. Right, Sicky's coming out. It looks like both teams are opting for a more passive mid. Everyone kind of on their own side, waiting around. Samla's taking that high ground, really aggressive. Everyone just waiting for the double soldier bomb. No one's committing yet. I think Trip's about to do it any second now. And there goes High Five trying to jump. Trip's in. They get a pick onto Alpha immediately. A lot of damage onto Azen. And Trip is behind. This is a huge pinch. If he can get on it. Oh, he just doesn't get the rocket off. And actually, that death allows them to hold second. But Soapy is behind. All of course you're aware. And I wouldn't be surprised to see if Morning Light tries to push off of Soapy pulling someone back at least. Because bot mode's all the way back on second. Everyone, of course, he's kind of trying to go back and deal with him, because the longer he's there, the more annoying it's going to be. And they finally get him. So now they can actually try and dry lower, or if they just want to send a 1 or 2 man, they can feel free. But this is definitely a big pick to work off of. Pushing lower, it's going to be a lot on what Laz can do here. And it looks like, yep, they're going to go lower. Sticky's on both doors. End up clearing it. Bot mode runs through. Trip trying to pressure Saw, trade some damage. And as the longer they're taking, Soapy's about to be here. A lot of damage on the High Five. Super weak in the air. And this is looking good. Trip sacks in. Bot mode with the trade. Trying to get a pick on the Soapy. Sandblast looking to take an Uber here, but they finally pop. The Uber is way better from Corsia. Even if they don't even have to pop here. And bot mode gets out. Brand Slam just barely escapes Sandblast. Sandblast taking a lot of damage, but Laz with a good counter jump onto bot mode. Gets him in the window, and that's going to make it a lot easier. It's going to get some more leeway for Soapy to try and make a play if he wants. It's a 5v4 currently. Alpha on Sniper, and with Corsia taking so long, the Sniper could actually come into play as long as they don't lock out the chokes fast enough. I think they have spotted the Sniper. Yep, they should have. A headshot onto Alex. And Trip's trying to get some pressure, and it looks like they're going to be able to get the second. 40% add. And them taking that long, the Uber should be coming in at least in the post as long as Asian doesn't get caught, and they're going to take it immediately through lower. The transition Uber, a lot of damage from Soapy, making this Uber really scrappy. Alex gets the pick on Asian in the spawn door. There's still a gun and have to be able to get the gun down. And now, as long as Corsia plays it tight, they should be fine. All of Morning Light on that right side of their last. Everyone on Corsia grouping up, getting ready to commit. There's High Five. There's Trip. Everyone's committing across the point, trying to get some picks. They get one, but the DM fight in favor of Morning Light, just wiping up the entirety of Corsia with that man disadvantage, is really good, but good job from Zilly getting out. It's going to be probably about even Ubers, maybe a little bit of ad for him in the end. If Laz doesn't actually... Oh, Laz is in. Misses the first rocket. Just doesn't get quite enough. Tries to go for the juggle. And now it's probably gonna stalemate onto... Oh, actually, Corsia wanting to take this into lower, at least peek it. They get some damage onto Laz in the window, who gets out. And now with the spawners in favor of Morning Light, High Five's actually committing in, trying to get onto Aizen. Gets one good rocket, gets two. And now they get Laz as well. It's just Soapy up to try and do something here. And now Zilly... Oh, Zilly gets a lot of damage on him from Psy. And just does get picked up by the combination of Soapy, Alpha, and Psy. But for Corsia, it's a wipe in their favor. And they're not going to be able to get on the last in time with the spawners coming in. But that's a really good play from High Five. Just a high bomb in, and then really good salvage from the side of Morning Light. You know, coordinating side from the front, Soapy from behind. And Alex actually getting picked there is going to open a big door. And Laz is just taking 1v1s in lobby and wins 2. And that's going to get them out in a second. Really good plays. And I think they've cleared most things. Laz getting a lot of damage, and he's just having amazing impact to start this game. Sandblast trying to take a 1v1 against Brand Slam. And if they get another pick, that could be massive. But I think everyone on both teams is going to live. It's going to probably slow down even Ubers. High Five really, really weak. So if Morning Light wants to get in, and Alpha does. Alpha gets 2 shot by Brand Slam. Laz gets picked. And them getting a bit overzealous may actually bite them in the behind, you know? And they're going to start walking through Saw. All of Morning Light backing up. Bot mode getting a little bit too aggressive. Gets picked off. And that shouldn't matter, at least right now, with the spawners coming in. But Morning Light, if they're really feeling it, which I'm assuming they're not, because Alpha's already on Sniper, they could refight it. Psy watching a trap on lower. Trip doesn't die to it, and now I wouldn't be surprised to see a bot mode Spy, a bot mode Sniper. Samus already ready to check those off classes, and bot mode is staying on Scout. So most likely we're going to see a 2-man in here. No gun yet, I'm assuming. Nope, Samus is not switching to Inchi. They are hard holding the top left side from the offensive perspective. Trip getting headshot, and Samus trying to, you know, get in, get some ground, get a trade in, but Soapy trying to get the force. Gets one good rocket onto Zilly, but it's not enough. And another headshot from Alpha onto Alex, and that's a huge pick. Sandblast instantly is just wanting to take a trade, just doesn't quite get it. They get through the bats. A lot of damage. The Uber actually coming out first from Corsia. Samus gets Uber back onto him, but the Alpha's down on Sniper, and both scouts pushing lower against this Uber. They're pulling the entire Uber back, which is really good. And they actually get a couple picks. High Five trying to commit. Not in a great spot. Sandblast gets picked off by bot mode. The health's not great from the side of Corsia, and they're really split. Spawner coming up from Morning Light. Soapy trying to deter them, and it looks like he's going to do just enough. Bot mode trying to get on him, but it looks like he's probably going to get picked here, and Corsia is going to have to leave and reconsider. High Five also going now. But those 2 big picks, it's going to make it really, really rough, and most likely Morning Light's going to be able to get out here because, you know, they're down 2 people. It's really hard. Sandblast trying to get some ground, and they're taking a lot of time. No one's really getting through these flank doors, and the longer they take, they're actually... Maybe it's because the Uber disad they're a bit scared of, but they opt to not push off that 2-player ad and play it safe. You know, they're on their last even rounds. They don't want to feed the other team around, and they want to keep the game even as long as possible. Even Ubers again. Alpha on his key Sniper class, got 2 picks last time. Big. Didn't lead to much in the end, but definitely opened the door for him. And I'd like to see how they break this, because there is no gun up. They get 2 picks, another headshot onto Alex. Alpha is just breaking these stalemates instantly, just over and over again. Bombard also going down a lot of damage on the Sandblast, and they're holding down these bats. There's no sniper from Alpha, and they're doing a great job of stalling. Laz is trying to get behind. They end up actually forcing Corsia a lot of damage on the high 5. The Uber is better from Morning Light, and they get 2 picks. Zilly is going to most likely get picked as well. Brand Slam at last, 2v1. It's not going to be enough, and a great job from Morning Light. Just pressure everywhere. That the player disad means a lot of doors are free. They definitely abuse that. And this is a big turnaround from your own last to potentially the other team's second. because they're going to get mid guaranteed. Maybe they'll lose a pick to a player to one of these traps. And they also have 50% ad. It's huge to work off of. A lot of damage on a Trip. Trip does get picked, and that's another huge. And they're also going to get high five to 1 HP. High five actually lives, and Alpha gets picked as well. Big job from Alex, getting a lot of kills, but Soapy just hiding in the corner, kills Brand Slam and gets the pickaxe onto Zilly. A massive play. I don't think it was very intended, but great execution on that play onto him. High five trying to get in as well. Not enough, and once again, just in transition in these fights. The DM from Morning Light's really just prevailing. Good trade from Trip, but probably not going to lead to much at least. Zilly spawning right now. Full Uber disad. We're back in the same situation as earlier, but probably even worse. Because Alex isn't going to spawn. Trip's not going to spawn. They're going to have 4 people on second. Their only hope right now is this bot mode sniper who can hopefully get a drop. And if he gets the right read on the other team going cheese, he's a little bit late to the rotation. So he kind of has to settle for this awkward angle, and it looks like Glaz has spotted it. Great job. Trip in cheese. Good headshot onto Sandblast. And that may give an opening for someone to sack in. High five is jumping in. Gets a pogo onto the med. One good rocket, and Aizen pops at full. That is big respect, or he's very panicked, and Sai is just doing the Sai thing. And he just sticky pipes the med. That was the weirdest play ever. He sticky pipes the med, and the problem is Sandblast kind of switched to sniper. But he's going to be able to switch off when Sai spawns, so weird big play you wouldn't expect in a match, but it's going to be 40 ad from Morning Light, a huge individual play, which I think is the highlight of Morning Light throughout this season. They've just had individual players over and over come up in big moments. There's going to be a gun and a sniper on the side of Corsia. Like I said, 40% ad from Morning Light. And this is, if you want to be a good top invite team, these are the moments you need to convert. You need to be able to convert these Uber ads into last. Given it's not a massive ad, definitely getting this round would be massive. So they're going to have this Uber, going to take a standard one through Shutter. Gun is actually in a more unconventional spot on the right side, but actually doesn't pull the Uber away very hard. Samus getting the bait onto Cap. High five and Trip trying to stall. They get a pick onto Alpha. 2 picks from Alex. Massive hold, a pipe onto Aizen as well. But once again, another salvage comes out and another pickaxe kill from Soapy. And Aizen's actually maybe getting out. Alex jumping the wrong door. And as long as Aizen doesn't drop into the demo, that should be a really good escape from Aizen. And another Uber ad, which so far that's been the story of this game, just Uber ads in these fights, and it keeps Morning Light in the game. Really good play from Aizen. Alpha kind of going a little bit too aggressive. He gets traded out anyway, so it shouldn't mean too much. Trip eats a rocket and gets launched in super weak. Should get cleaned up here. Actually, he gets out, and Samus gets killed on the side. And this could be an opening. If Corsia moves pretty quickly, this could be their opportunity, but the longer they take that, the closer the Uber from Morning Light is. But there are no scouts up for Morning Light yet. They just get one. Trip trying to get in a lot of damage onto Soapy. They're trying to take this ground as soon as possible. And High Five actually cutting off the saw door, and everyone has to funnel towards that lower. High Five through Catwalk. Damage onto Soapy, a lot of damage. And he's kind of just wreaking havoc. Alpha's going to be behind him. But Sandblast wants to take that solo Sandblast Uber that everyone knows and loves. Gets onto Alex. Some damage onto Zilly, but Zilly is long gone. These scouts trying to draw some fire. Really good job from bot mode, actually. Not taking too much damage. And the soldier coming in. High five trying to clean up these scouts. Alpha's behind. Sandblast gets picked up. There's so much chaos happening again. Soapy with the pickaxe, not again. And actually, the scrappy fight does go in favor of Corsia. And once again, they are, or not once again, but they have huge Uber ad. And if they can deny these 3, that's a free second. And that's potentially like a 40%, a 30% Uber ad last push if they can hurry it up a little bit. But once again, you're playing against Morning Light, you're playing against Alpha, you know he's going to be on Sniper here. And I don't think they would be expecting it. And he hits a headshot anyways. Brand Slam down. That's a massive pick. That's your combo scout down. You don't really have someone to cap. Trip's not on that pain train, so it's going to be a really slow cap. Which just means you can't cap last and pressure point. They pop through top left, trying to get a transition Uber. They actually get Alpha down. Bot mode dying to the gun means there's no scout to cap, and that also means there's going to be some crits in that gun, but Aizen pops for some reason. Again, another questionable Uber. Full HP. Really strange, and that would have given them such a good chance in this game. And Aizen kind of throwing that away there. Last almost getting skyboxed and ends up getting cleaned up, which is another time the door has been open for another team. Corsia pushing the other team's cheese, trying to pull people back, and they do a good job. Everyone in Morning Light ends up going into the lobby because they kind of have to. There's someone pressuring behind. And now 20% ad from Corsia. I wouldn't be surprised if they didn't do anything off this because it's really slim. And if you do mess it up, and their last pushes, at least the one they had, didn't look very clean. But it looks like, once again, they are probably going to slow it down. And so far, what happens is when Corsia's on the other team's last, it's a lot of alpha getting this pick and really putting Corsia in an awkward spot. And once again, he is on that sniper. Trip actually getting in the lobby. There's no gun again, which is really unconventional. A lot of times you see a gun in the, I think it's most known as the Banny spot. It watches drop down, it watches lower, and it's really hard to spam. But there is nothing of that sort, so it makes sacking a lot easier. If Trip wants to poker through top right, which he does, eats a rocket and instantly bot mode trying to get onto alpha, not enough. And that is usually what you're going to see a lot of times in these holds when the meta is especially playing there. And Alpha still on sniper. Sandblast in alone, eats an air shot from high five. Great job. Gonna shut down the offense and maybe actually send another two-man if they want to send high five and brand slam, which looks like they don't really want to. So it's gonna slow down a lot more. No off classes from Corsia here. Another headshot onto high five. Probably won't lead to too much, but you know, it's going to slow it down, but they actually get on to Laz. Laz gets 2 for 1, and that's a huge trade. You'd think that'd be a free pick. It's not. And with that one player ad, the spawn timers are better for Corsia. Sandblast trying to get in. They actually clear all the traps. Sandblast wants this Uber. He just feels the Uber coming in. He pops it off. They have an Uber even trade, but Sai is really weak. And honestly, this isn't great for Morning Light. As long as Corsia can try to get forward on these doors, they should be good. Bot mode, a lot of damage on the side, but eats a pipe in exchange. So it looks like everything's going to go back to normal. And even Uber's here. So Alpha back on the sniper. Corsia trying to get in a lobby. Maybe they'll send a sack in transition. It actually looks like they really want to push through this shutter door. They get a scout through. They see there's no sticks, and this is really awkward because Morning Light was not ready for this. Some cap time on point. Last down. High five on the sniper. Gets the pick down. Soapy, and this completely caught them off guard. Everybody was kind of just sitting top right, waiting for Uber to come in. And Alex already with the copy-paste of what Alpha said earlier, and that was a really, really clean, absolute even fight where they just knew the other team's stacking and just not anticipating it. And they actually just get in really free there. So second mid. Last time it was really, really passive and slow. It ended up being a high bomb from Corsia. And it looks like Trip, yep, same mids so far. Everyone kind of just waiting around. Trip probably waiting for a buff. And Laz actually taking that high ground. And so far, Morning Light has been taking this high ground early in mid. Damage from high five. Trip's in, spreading a lot of damage from Alpha and onto Laz. But Laz, again, bombs in, gets 2. The combo scout and the med. Laz so far has been playing phenomenally, which I think everybody kind of did expect. And Soapy with a great air shot onto Trip, getting the trade, which in no world he should get. But really good play from the soldiers of Morning Light, showing that they're nothing to mess with so far. And once again, huge Uber ad from Morning Light. They haven't been able to convert in these past times, but this is an absolute ad. Before, maybe it was 40, 30% ad. This is going to be about 60, 50 ad, depending on how long they wait for their spawners, which they probably should. Get some buffs out there. And there's a gun sniper setup. Gun is on the little mound, a more standard hold. Everyone getting buffs. Soapy coming in any second now. And it's going to be another Shutter Uber. Sai and Sandblast. They say, we don't want to buff you, Soapy. They pop in. Going to get the gun down. Sandblast immediately pushing into the other team's spawn. Trying to get some cap time. Gets juggled off. No cap time in. Laz gets through the top left really clean. They get onto Alex, and that is a bunch of picks. Uber is nowhere near for Corsia. This should be a round, but actually a lot of picks coming out. Zilly with a lot, but unless Sandblast doesn't hit any pistols. And that was pretty scrappy for how that fight started. 3 picks instantly, and then they convert it. Really good job from Botmo trying to salvage it. Not enough. And these mids so far have been really, really slow. And I'd expect if Corsia really wants to try and, take this, but I think it looks like both teams they're looking like they want to play really passive again. Trip playing in a spot to get a buff, but once again, really slow mids. A lot of Sandblast trying to poking and prodding. Trip trying to get in the other team's kitchen, but actually commits in a lot of damage on the Psy, and Aizen hits the air shot on both Aizen and Psy. Trip saw what Laz was doing and just raised him. He just did one better. You know, that's reminiscent of that one Garbuglio clip at Rewind 1. You know what? If you know what it is, you know what it is. And that was an insane mid, and that is definitely, you know, just whatever you can do, I can do better. And that was, so far, these mids have been great, even though they've been slow. And actually, this is horrible. This is such a weird Uber. They're not going to actually get anything. They lose Alex. They get Aizen in the end, but they're super committed. All the players are here to catch them out. High Five gets caught out. Zilly's trying to leave. Pipe spam from Psy, and he hits it. And that was so strange. I don't think they had a scout with them. It was a soldier demo in transition with full ad, and they completely threw that away, which I absolutely, you hate to see it. But Morning Light, you take those. So now they're going to have 20% ad to get out of their last, and I think they're very, very happy with that. It's even players, so you're most likely going to see a little bit of a stalemate here. And yeah, so Corsia actually opting to look towards lower. They've been playing a lot in these dry fights and these transitions. High Five with a really good jump in, gets some damage on the side. Trip from Saw getting a lot of spam out, putting some pressure, but a lot of damage. They get 2 picks instantly. Laz getting traded out, but that's huge. Psy in, actually feeding, and with that pick, it didn't work out for him this time around. Alpha's behind, isn't enough. Bot mode getting pick after pick after pick. I think he got 3 in that fight, and he really came up big, and he's been coming up big in a lot of these fights. And he's not scared of anything. He wants to take Sandblast down, even though he doesn't have a beam. Not enough. High Five and Alex, same place. Even Ubers this time. High Five in, trying to get on the demo. Gets really 2 really good rockets. And so far, all the ringers in this game have been looking great. And they're probably going to try and do something off this demo pick. They got to do it sooner than later. They get through the shutter really, really clean. Bot mode trying to take a trade in on the point. Trip taking a lot of damage during the Uber, which isn't great. So now they can't really have a recommit from a couple players. The Uber's doing a great job of putting pressure out onto the people outside of it. They get Zilly down in the post. They get 4 again, and these Ubers are just not good. It's just High Five up, but Brand Slam actually coming in, salvaging it up, getting Aizen down, which you love to see if you're a fan of Corsia. And I think if you're Morning Light, you're fine with it. You don't want to see your med down there, because now it gives an option for Corsia to really try and push with that heal ad, which they're going to take, going through Saw, getting in really clean. Once again, High Five putting pressure onto the cheese, kind of forcing the other team out, but Laz bombing in, getting the med down. What he is known for, the medic hunter. And now Soapy in, not trying to give up the second, going to put a lot of pressure onto this cap. Damage on a Brand Slam. He's going to die, but he gets enough pressure out to try and stop the cap from coming down. High Five from the side. Doesn't get enough, but gets enough damage in. But Trip in the entirety of Corsia on Aizen, who's left out to dry. And this is just absolutely, completely scrappy. Laz doing a great job. But it's going to be really hard. But Laz and Psy, both with 2 individual picks, getting some damage onto Alex. They get Brand Slam down. And once again, in these weird fights, Morning Light prevail. Laz 1v1, Psy 1v1, and they get a lot of damage out. And once again, these meds are just falling over and over again. And it looks like Corsia's in a really weird spot. Laz with a lot of damage on Alex, misses. And both soldiers from Morning Light trying to commit there, doesn't get quite enough. Trip trying to get some damage, and this is a huge opening. As long as they don't walk into the one door, Psy's probably going to be covering. They should be good, and they actually get through this top right door. No one's on it. They get in entirely free. These soldier spawners are going to come in. Psy actually oversteps, gets picked off, and Alpha actually, huge play, gets behind and backcaps second, and that's going to completely save them. Maybe they would have won that round, but Alpha knows the other team wants to rush it. They have Morning Light has no soldiers. They want to push as soon as possible, and Alpha slips through. I'm assuming through lower, gets the back cap. Massive play, buys them another life in this round. Once again, Corsia realizing no one's through the shot. They're trying to push off the slim ad, and Aizen dies. I think he was at 90 something, and just a huge sync bomb from the Uber, getting Aizen down instantly. Alpha a lot of damage, and that's such a good just dot push. They went off the slimmest ad, and they get it. So far, Corsia, they can't get off of the ads. They get off of the most even scenarios. Such a slight ad. The last time, even Ubers. And they're winning these rounds in really awkward, unconventional situations. And I'd like to see if, Morning Light, they saw what Trip did last time and they want to really really one-up them on this mid. So Trip actually playing on the high ground this time. Both teams playing pretty passive again. Surprise, surprise. Every time I feel like these teams play, they are so slow, but double soldier bomb again. Trip trying to get behind. Gets dealt with by Sandblast. Soapy in from the flank. One good rocket onto Ace and hits a direct onto Brand Slam. And actually, a really good trade. High five. Oh, actually, it's a 4v4, but what would you rather have? 2 scouts or a soldier? Brand Slam gets arrowed, gets one shot by Alpha. Alpha does not let anyone out, and the scouts, I think, are about to get a 6K. Yep, the scouts from Morning Light with 6 kills on that mid. Massive. The soldiers kind of on both teams just flying around, doing the soldier thing nowadays. And now, once again, full Uber ad from Morning Light. They get to push the other teams last. And they're probably going to, once again, to go through the shutter. Brand Slam doing a good job of keeping Morning Light on their toes with these guns. So now Morning Light getting through that lower door. Gonna end up going towards shutter. Sandblast, I think, wanted to go through lower. Got vetoed. And now Morning Light going for a weird Uber, going through the top right. Open door. They get onto the players in spawn. Don't really get anything. Sai potentially could have gone on the med there. There's a sniper in the spawn. Soapy, a lot of damage on the door. Sandblast just capping. Trip doing his best to try and pull him away. Zilly once again dying. 3v3, but heals are up for Morning Light. As long as Morning Light take their time, they should be fine. These spawners coming in so late from Corsia. And they're just slowly putting damage out. Sandblast actually gets insta-give by Trip. And, oh, Sai with a huge 2 pipes. He potentially could have gotten all 3 of them if Alex was just a little bit closer. And it's gonna even out again, at least in players. But Aizen living there, Zilly dying again, which Zilly's been getting picked off a lot. 50% ad from Morning Light. They get a redo on this last push. And I'm assuming they're probably not going to do the same thing they did last time, where they try to do, it's kind of like a meta Uber, because you don't usually expect people to be there. So maybe you're just auto-assuming they're going to go shutter. I'm going to play on the right side from defender's perspective. But Morning Light popping through the shutter. They get in the gun once again in a different spot, but a huge headshot from bot mode onto Sai. Laz is in the skybox out of the fight. Big picks from the scouts of Morning Light getting 2. Samus getting traded. It's 4v4, actually 3v4. And Soapy sneaking behind the other team's gas tank in the spawn. He has to play this right because these spawners are going to be coming in. It's really strange, but bot mode senses something's up. They find him. Ooh, almost the air shot, but really good play. Huge ad from Corsia. Once again, Alpha on his class. Sniper. And there's a couple angles you can be at, and he's in one of them. Usually it's either catwalk, forward spawn, kitchen, and this watches the cross the point and the catwalk door. But actually, a trap kill onto Alex is massive. It's going to allow Morning Light to really keep pressuring and getting some room out. And a drop onto Zilly. Just such a weird angle. He walks in front of the kitchen and gets the body shot drop. And now Aizen gets forced so close to a drop. And another massive solo play from Morning Light. It's all on bot mode, and they get absolutely cleaned up. And Uberad shouldn't be too much in the end, but once again, just another med pick. This game has just been meds dying one after another. And they're gonna be rolling in 40%, actually a lot more than I expected. I think Alex was playing a bit forward and not building. I don't know if Morning Light's gonna know of it. But Alpha's still on Sniper. I don't know how you like that. I don't really like it in this situation, but Alpha's been generating picks every time he's on Sniper. Misses the headshot on Trip. Nope. Hits the second one, but not enough. Laz getting picked there. Knowing Laz, he's going to stay soldier. No, oh! Bot mode is just destroying. Peeks in, gets the Sniper, and then headshots the man right after. Soapy in lobby. Trying to get on the Zilly. Gets 1 good rocket, 2 good rockets, and oh my god, the soldiers from Morning Light absolutely salvaging after the big play from bot mode. And just, this is an absolute just slugfest. No teams are keeping their med alive. It's just, once again, when one meds goes down, the other team goes all in, and they get a bunch of picks. And with that, they're going to be able to refight second with no med on the other team, on Corsia, my bad. Sandbox trying to get a pick here, not quite enough. And bot mode, once again, trying to go for a play. It's been working for him. But it's not enough here, and if Morning Light really's feeling it and they don't want to play off the Satch, most likely won't happen. Alpha's trying to get onto Alex, which works. gets traded out immediately, but you take that any day of the week, and it looks like Morning Light gets through the top right door from the defender's perspective, completely free. The only problem is if Aizen gets picked here, it could be tragic. Zilly surfing onto the shed, gets picked off, and it's once again both meds down. And I don't know how I like it. I don't know. I like calling pretty conservatively. And I think Morning Light had a 40-50% ad, and they opted for the dry fight, which makes complete sense. Demo down. I want to try and get in, but 90%, Samwest gets insta-gibbed, and Aizen just can't get that Uber. And once again, even Ubers, nobody's on crits. And yeah, I'm hoping it slows down so I can catch a breath here, because it's getting a bit rough. But yeah, it's going to slow down. There are no off classes. And Morning Light actually trying to get through lower. Samwest running through the traps, does not care. A double soldier bomb. Doesn't really quite get anything. Both scouts on the trip. Trip with a bad jump. Eats a direct from Laz across the map. High five with a lot of damage. Eats a pipe. Once again, just another pick coming in. Laz and Soapy both on the bats behind. Soapy just destroys High five, sending him to the ground. Gets traded off. And a 4v4. No soldiers on the side of Corsia. And these soldiers are just flying around in the skybox the entire game. And they've had a lot of good double bombs throughout this game on the side of Morning Light, at least. And I hope it should slow down a bit. I wouldn't be surprised to see Alpha runs back and gets on that sniper class, but doesn't seem to be the case this time around. A trap above the lower door, gonna kill Sandblast, and I think he may be a little bit bored. Do his little Sandblast thing, go sniper spy. Trip getting picked off. Soapy lives with 1 HP, literally 1 HP, and I don't think Trip's. I want to be very happy about that. But Sandblast actually staying on scout. With that trip pick, they're going to try and push through lower. Alpha running through. Laz jumping in behind on bats again. Drawing a lot of eyes, pulling High five back. He's going to get picked here. Unless he gets a sink, it should be pretty bad. Soapy in again. They're just spreading so much damage, but no one on Morning Light really can get far enough into to do something off it. And Sandblast trying to clean up off all that damage. Gets picked off really, really late. And now, if I'm Morning Light, gotta decide, do you want to trade here to try and buy time for your spawners, or are you just going to play it safe, give it up? And I'm betting if Sandblast was alive and not Alpha, they would have taken that trade. But since Sandblast was dead, they opt to play it safer. And Corsia's actually just running in. High five with a lot of damage. He should get picked, but Sai getting killed on the side. The Uber's way, way worse from Corsia, but Aizen is left out to dry. Laz gets a pick, and the scout in forwards absolutely just destroys the medic from behind. And again, just an absolute slugfest. They get a wipe on the side of Corsia once again. There's no time on the clock. I didn't realize. That's probably why. And that was an absolutely phenomenal half from both teams. Back and forth, back and forth. And I really want to see how many deaths these Veds have, because it can't be good. It's good to watch, but it's not good if you like, slower paced, more traditional TF2. And I don't know if anyone else logs. Not working for me. So I don't know what's happening. There we go. Never mind. This is not the right thing. Okay. So logs kind of messing up today. So I'll sum it up. Med's dying. Probably at least 10 plus deaths from each med, both sides, constantly back and forth. There's definitely massive high numbers because there haven't been too many stalemates. The only stalemates, I guess you could say, have really been Corsia on Morning Light's last. And every time Alpha gets a pick or two on Sniper, where it instantly kills the stalemate, where Morning Light gets the opportunity to try and pressure in, get a force, something like that. And what I'm assuming is happening on logs is bot mode, big numbers, because bot mode's been having big picks. Oh, logs. Oh, that's some hidden advice, but I'm assuming it's a lot of plays from bot mode, who I think's been the big like the shining part of Corsia, the big playmaker. Given that a lot of the plays from Morning Light have come off the backs of the double soldier bombs, who they just go flying. They do their own thing. Making the right config here. And if I was to see something from the second half, I'm hoping one of these teams comes out with an explosive mid, but given both these slow mids have been working for both teams, you know, I think it maybe was 2 mids to 2 in the end. So I'm assuming Morning Light's not going to change up the equation for their mids. And Morning Light going to be readying up here. I think I said 4-3 for Morning Light, which is absolutely possible because the first half went to time. But I think one thing you got to say about these Psy teams, these Psy Sandblast teams, is you can't count them out in the second half. I think they really elevate in the second half. Usually when they do elevate in the second half, they look a lot worse in the first. But so far, they've been looking both teams have been looking pretty good. Here are the logs. Like I said, bot mode, 38 and 23, 350 DPM top in the server on Scout. This man has not been playing TF2 at all, which is absolutely crazy. Laz, Ringer. The Ringers in the server. Both teams really topping some of the stats on their team. Sandblast, you know, always getting his stats. High five. I thought he was having a way better game than the stats say, but once again, like I said, 10 plus deaths from both meds. Zilly with 16, Aizen with 11. And I don't know. Is anyone having no one's really having an awful game. Maybe you could say high five, but I feel like he's been having a decent amount of impact. Dolphin, can you scroll down to med picks? I want to see who's out here killing those meds. Laz 6, Soapy 4. Yep, the soldiers from Morning Light getting 10 med picks. And it's kind of a group effort on the side of Corsia, but actually, one last, go look at the mids. Dolphins, scroll up, look at the mids. I want to see. I swear it's 2-2. It is 2-2. And I think this is probably the most back and forth, maybe one of the most back and forth, action-packed first halves I've seen in a very long time. I'd usually expect a lot more slow gameplay, but I think the thing is Morning Light haven't been in positions where they have even Ubers on the other team's point, where they do usually run that alpha sniper, slow it down a bit. And it's a lot of Corsia in the driving seat with those even Ubers. And whenever Morning Light is on the team side, they do have Uber ad. Here we go. Second half starting. So far, like I said, mids have been pretty slow. So let's see. First mid, or fifth mid coming in here. Both demos rolling out. Actually, one going solid, one going lower. Not going to matter much. Alex eating a sticky initially. Once again, same setup from the very beginning. Soapy on that catwalk, Trip on his own catwalk. Everyone kind of playing passive. Soapy with a huge bomb in, trying to get behind. He does. Last also behind. Trip ends up getting the pick back. Soapy in on the med, hits 2 clean rockets. And once again, the soldiers doing a great job. And now it's Alpha, Psy, and Aizen. They just got to sit on the med, chip the players down, and they should be fine. There's not a lot of HP on the side of Corsia. And Alpha's trying to get some pistol damage out. Psy going catwalk, kind of splitting up. They don't really want to give them mid. Trip trying to get on the med. Psy sees it coming, hits a pipe. Bot mode sneaking into lower. I think he sees the med. I don't think they see him. It's one good scatter and gets the force. And once again, bot mode, the guy in this match. But Brandslam getting picked there is really bad. If he lived, maybe they'd be in a better situation. But now they're down 3, even though they don't have Uber anymore. Corsia's got to give up second. No scouts are down 3. A lot of damage on the last. Not quite enough. Psy really forward, but the spawners come in. They get Soapy down. A lot of damage from Trip onto Alpha. Not quite enough. And that actually, I don't know if they were waiting there, if they just got it as soon as the other team capped mid. But those forward spawners really just bought them their own second back. 20% ad from Corsia. Last trying to get behind it. Alex Brandslam get picked. Zilly's kind of left out to dry. The scouts trying to get on the med, but great job from bot mode and high five protecting the med. Uber's going to be coming in, and he's second now, but there's no scouts with the beam, so Zilly's going to be a bit slow. Morning Light end up getting the cap, and they pop out here instantly for some reason. Alpha doing a great job pulling players back. All they're going to get with the Uber is Alpha, and the Uber's instantly back for Morning Light. Sandblast wants to take it back in. Red's most likely going to get second here. And they actually don't. Sandblast does get picked. The force comes out really deep. Sandblast, oh, nice pipe from Psy on the Trip. And it's just absolute chaos. Zilly dying again. Bot mode in behind, trying to get a clutch play here. The player, his teammates need to come in. Alex jumping in. A lot of damage. Psy with a really good pipe. But bot mode not actually going for the med, opting to kill the demo with his team. And I don't know if I like that. I feel like he probably should have tried to get that med one shot from Alpha, and Aizen living there. Really, really big. Only 20% ad, but 2 players down from Corsia. It looks like they're going to opt to go through the saw door. High five and Trip both on top of it. Damage coming out. High five, half HP. Trip getting cleaned up a lot of the players. Soapy in. So much damage on the med. Gets high five. A lot of damage on Alex and ends up living. And these soldiers on Morning Light have been just making so much space, so much damage, and really, really helping their team out. 20% ad for Morning Light. Once again, no soldiers on the side of Corsia. They trade out scout for scout. Soapy and Laz trying to get in on the med demo. So much damage in a clean 2 rocket onto the med. They end up dropping everybody for that though. And there's no scouts with Aizen. If they can spot the door and get on him, they should be able to pick, but no one's healthy enough really to commit on it. Trips and lower, not enough. They do get the med again, but they allow Corsia to get on to second. No heals up, so Morning Light should be able to push here. And as long as they take it slow, their med should be fine. Full Uber ad, no Psy up. They get through the lower door clear. No soldiers really in a spot to commit on it. And everyone, of course, is going to have to try and leave. Bot mode looking for a play with Trip. They're going to be pushing Saw. Another soldier in here for help. A 2v2. A lot of damage on the Laz. They get Laz down. The flank in. A lot of damage on the Soapy. Bot mode with another pick. And Psy is locked out of the fight. Aizen's going to have to leave in a great play from Corsia, recognizing there's no flank scout with Soapy, and they're just going to they take that 2v1, which ended up being a 2v2, but Trip, good rockets, and bot mode cleaning up on that damage there. But Morning Light really having to wait for their spawners. It's going to even out here, and this is where you're probably going to see the game slow down a little bit. Maybe a little bit of alpha sniper, maybe some spy, something like that. But so far, pretty cookie cutter. Overall in this match, it's really cookie cutter. Rarely snipers, only at a last. I'm looking to Soapy. Soapy's been having a lot of success so far with his bombs. Sandlot's looking to peek lower, trying to draw some eyes. Both soldiers in saw. And some damage out. Soapy by the main saw door. Actually, they're just poking and prodding, trying to find a good place. Soapy's trying to find his, sweet spot to sack in. And yeah, they're taking their good old time. They do have 20, they have 8 minutes at least on the round timer. Soapy gonna go through the window with a pogo in. Oh my god! I think Psy hit a pipe or a sticky over the shed, and all it took was one rocket from Soapy, which unbelievable timing. There's no way that's coordinated. Maybe the spam is, but the pipe and the rocket hit at the same exact time. In Corsia, they wipe during that, and unless Alex comes up big, this should be a really good opportunity as long as Morning Light don't blunder this. Full ad, spawners coming in 4 seconds, getting through the top right door completely free. There is no sniper to really drop the med. They pop across the point. Samba's trying to lock people in spawn, which he does do a good job of. Alpha getting on the point. 2 people in spawn getting picked by Psy, and Psy gets another. And just another massive play from Soapy. The sync from Soapy and Psy, the Soapy-Psy connection drops the med, and I don't blame Zilly for dropping there, because I think he had less than 1 second to react to that. So, just unlucky, you could say. Now it's a 2-2 game. Second half Morning Light looks like it's coming into action. Both teams once again opting for the same exact mid. Last time Soapy did a high bomb off this top right wall. And it looks like he's going to do it again. A high bomb coming in into the saw door, all the way behind. Laz putting pressure out. A lot of damage onto Alex. Catches a bow. Damage back on a Trip. Soapy's still behind, trying to draw some eyes. No one's really committing to forward. Brandslate and Botman turning around to get the soldier down. Laz committing on a Trip. A lot of damage out. They get him. Samus gets the trade, but that's 2 for 1. Not enough. High five is behind it. If he can get good enough timing, he gets in on the demo. 2 good rockets. Can't finish. He does end up finishing him off. Alex in. Good sticky, but Aizen gets the Uber just in time. And Alex is going to get picked off here. The Uber should be fine from Zilly, unless Alpha absolutely just goes off, which not looking like the case. And he gets put down by bot mode. Huge ad from Corsia. Samwas building that gun up. They're going to have to wait for their spawners. Alex pretty integral to a last push here. And if you're a fan of Corsia, if you're on Corsia, these are the situations you gotta convert. It's gonna be 50-40% ad by the time they actually push in here, and this is This is one of the best opportunities you get to win a round. They've been getting them in a lot more unconventional ways, even Ubers, even like very slim ad. Alex ready to go from the shutter, a sniper on the door. They pop in, Alex bombing it, ignoring that right spawn, trying to get some damage out, kills the gun. A lot of cap time from Brandslam. They bait the players in, they get 2 soldiers down instantly, and as long as they can focus fire this heavy down, they should be fine. Uber is nowhere close, and I'm pretty sure Azen is not on the Uber saw. If he was, he could have gotten Uber there, but that's the trade-off. If you want that information, you got to pay up with the clutch factor, which if he had that Uber saw, that could have come up absolutely massive. And like I said, they absolutely clinical. Bait the cap, pull both soldiers to it, kill both instantly, and it's kind of just over after that. Everybody in Morning Light has to fall to the point. And so far, the mids just, every time Morning Light bombs in, it seems they trade 2 soldiers for 1. And once again, playing really passive. Soapy, I think, doesn't want to do it again. It didn't work out the past time. And high five instantly in the team's kitchen, trying to get some good spam. One of the med demo. Alpha trying to get some cap time pressure. Both scouts on their own shed. No one's really doing anything. A lot of damage. Sandblast and Bombo trading damage, but high five getting picked off. Trip behind. And unless Trip can make something happen, which Sandblast too wise. They actually, Corsia gets last down. Trip in on the med, doesn't get a rocket off. Bombo getting picked off, and that's going to be the end of their mid. And now given that Corsia have Uber, they have an opportunity to refight second. They're going to rotate to the bat store, not let Morning Light get too far in. Brandslam trying to pressure, trying to get these players that heals out of the fight. High five actually behind. If he gets a really good time, which I think he did, gets onto Soapy, some damage, so much damage onto Soapy, and Alpha, he gets 1, is behind, and he is wreaking absolute havoc and ends up living during that Uber exchange. And now with that flank scout down, that's an opportunity for someone on Corsia to try and get in. High five once again through the door. Everybody on Corsia flooding in through lower. Air shot onto Trip. Not going to mean that much, but bot mode overstepping, getting cleaned up by Psy. And now with their player down and Alpha spawning, Laz is here to cut off the exit, and everyone's walking into him in a huge collapse from Morning Light in a full 6 up, 6 down wipe. And Psy instantly getting ready to spawn trap, getting that left shutter down. The soldier should be ready to be on that right side. And unless something miraculous happens, Brandslam trying to build a gun, but they're not ready for it. And that second half Psy really is, it's coming in. Here we go. I think the 8th mid, I think. I think it's the 8th mid. And so far it's just been whatever soldiers go down first, they lose. And so far playing passive has worked most of the time, unless someone can really generate something. Last trying to get that high ground. High five with a high bomb in onto Soapy, get some good damage trade out. In the entirety of Corsia pushing across that left lane, getting Psy down, getting Sandblast down, and Alpha also getting picked 3 down from Morning Light. A really, really good attack. Just jumping on that left side, catching out players one by one. Alex jumping forward, trying to lock out second and get in that power position. And I think the score is tied at 4-4. So whoever wins this round, 3-3. My bad, 3-3. So Alpha once again on sniper. And so far, if I'm on Corsia, I really don't want to peek this guy because he's had the hot hand this game so far. Bot mode as well, but the flank coming in, trying to two-man a nice air shot from Azen on a Trip. I think across the map. Cross-map bow kill. Bot mode gets a kill on the Soapy, which is going to discourage anything big from Morning Light. They're probably just going to peek Alpha a little bit. Alpha taking a lot of damage. That's probably out of the situation now. So slowing it down in bot mode. Last time they fought, Alpha and bot mode did come up victorious with a sniper and a med pick. I don't know if that's going to happen again, but you can only hope if you're on the side of Corsia. And this is the more traditional gameplay. You usually see a lot more slow gameplay. Psy gets a pick on a Brandslam. Soldier trying to get in, instantly gets killed by Alex. And once again, even players. Both snipers trying to get a really good shot, an advantage. Both trying to get a buff out, Oh, Botwood falls off the bridge. I don't know if that was on purpose, but now he looks like he's trying to get the roamer in lower who just spawned. Which he's rotating around, he's just taking his time. He's got all the time in the world. It's a tie game. They got 8 minutes 40 on the clock to really just run it down if they really want. And just Alpha trying to peek in and just a weird angle, the top of the ramp, instant headshot from bot mode. You know, that diabolical aim. I don't know if he actually is currently playing it competitively, but, you know, I'll just say so. And he gets the peek. He's going to peek through shutter right onto Aizen. Oh, just misses the body shot. That was the best opportunity. They're probably going to get Aizen still kind of peeking. Trip trying to peek through lower. And it's just absolutely scary if you're a medic, if you're Aizen here. Sai getting picked, so much damage. Aizen's forced to pop from the pot shots from Brand Slam. Brand Slam's going to get picked off in a headshot onto bot mode. And actually, Corsia pushing with no scouts. They Uber in. They're going to get the scout down. But this isn't looking great. All the high ground is on the side of Morning Light, along with spawners. And once again, they've just been rushing these situations. They could have waited for both their scouts to spawn, maybe take a less Uber ad, but have a more setup scenario. But even them popping there gives them a huge ad just because they killed Aizen with the Uber. So, you know, it's not an Uber that works instantly. Now they get a second chance. You know, they get that second life, that one up. They're going to have 50% ad, actually 40% ad to try and work it. And last time worked out, and they need to make it happen again. Last time they baited the point. They got 2 soldier picks, and they killed a bunch of players. But High Five getting picked off instantly is not a good sign. That takes away a little bit of the collapse that comes after the Ubers. The Uber coming through shutter. They're going to rush, get that gun down, but it looks like they recognize Alex doesn't lock out the right spawn door. They're going to hold, and they're getting really deep. Aizen fine. They get 2 picks down. Scout trying to cap. He gets 2 players in bot mode with a massive play. Everybody on Morning Light thought they held it. They rotated to spawn, and he wins a 2v1 against weak players and wins the round. And so far, bot mode's been taking the game into his hands. 4-3 from Corsia. And this is where you need these Morning Light mids to really step up. So once again, actually, I don't know where High Five is. Oh, there we go. He's high bombing in. Double soldier bomb. Doesn't really get anything. Some damage out, but both soldiers get cleaned up, and that passive mid really works out for Morning Light. A soldier behind. Corsia doesn't really feel comfortable leaving. Zilly getting a bunch of damage, but Soapy rotating to lower. Cleans up Alex. There's a medic and 2 scouts up for Corsia, and Laz just barely doesn't get this med. And that death there is going to let Corsia really keep in here, but bot mode slips behind, and he gets on the med and gets a 2-shot, gets the demo, and bot mode is taking over this game. A 3K finds the scout, and he's been absolutely amazing. Gets 4 with the taunt, showing Alpha who's the superior flank scout in this matchup so far. And just you think he doesn't have any more in the tank, and he pulls out another play. That may be the nail in the coffin. Sandblast in forwards on Sniper. Their only hope, but actually they pop in. Corsia pops in trying to catch the med. Demo bomb too late. They don't really get... Oh, actually the pipe across the map gets Aizen and also connects with Sai. And that's another med pick that you just can't have, but the Sniper in forwards kills Zilly in a salvage play once again from Sandblast. And that keeps them in this game. Gonna get through the bats, that player ad. Sandblast taking a 1v1 versus Trip. Ford Gaming versus Ford Gaming. Wins the 1v1. Soapy trying to get in. They find High Five. Brand Slam in with Sandblast. A lot of damage out, but Laz and Soapy cleaning up the 2 players behind. And bot mode is here to make a play again. He's in the lower. No one's spotted him yet. And side peeks, eats a body shot. It's not enough. And now Morning Light is going to be aware of the Sniper in the situation. So 20% ad from Morning Light. And if you're Corsia, you just gotta hope bot mode takes the game into his hands again, because he's been that dude in this match. You know, it's more of like a group effort of people making plays on Morning Light, but this is a one-man army that bot mode is right now. You know, I think people were a bit, you know, maybe sleeping on his flank scout compared to last season. You know, it wasn't looking great, but maybe Snakewater's just this map, because he's been the best player in the server, I think, so far, unanimously. I don't think you could argue it. Maybe Sai, but he's been coming up big when his team needs it. Gonna peek through that kitchen. Oh, we see Sai jumping. Okay. He'd have to be cheating to hit that headshot. And He's trying to catch someone jumping, trying to peek over those logs. Misses the shot into Soapy. And now Morning Light's going to know that the Corsia team's trying to peek through lower. The double soldier bomb's probably going to come if they really want, and Corsia oversteps their bounds. And they're really just not wanting to feed around into the other team. Trip in with the one man, gets the force. A little bit of a nervous panic pop from Aizen. You know, he could have tried to milk it, but I understand. He was about 60, 70 HP pops, and now Corsia does not want to give them any room to breathe. They pop in instantly, try to get in, but Sai with a massive pick on a brand slam. And he's alive, and she's... No one... actually, Bot Mode knows of him. Soapy behind kills Bot Mode, and the collapse comes in. And that Uber, once again, a rushed Uber, is not working out, but Trip behind gets Alex, and someone killed Aizen. Let me go look at who killed Aizen? Like dumb. Okay, whatever. Both meds end up dying. Oh, Alex killed Aizen. Went to Uber, I'm assuming. Now, the spawner's coming in from Corsia. A lot of Morning Light is really far away, especially that demo. And Bombo's really just putting pressure on both these soldiers. And they're going to get second back. Alpha does not want to give it up. A lot of damage taken from him on high five. And Alex, 2 picks on both scouts. And that takes away all the treatability. Trip with a huge bomb gets 2 players. And now it's just Sai. And it's just big play after big play. Sai going to get cleaned up. And this is looking rough. I don't know if you can... It's going to be really hard for someone to make a play. One of these scouts is going to spawn on Sniper. There's no way one of them... They both spawn on Sniper along with a heavy in forward spawn. Okay, they both back spawn. But they both wanted the glory. And now it's just Alpha on Sniper. The gun up. About 60% ad from Corsia. This is probably the best opportunity they've had all game to really finish this off here. And there's no gun. Samus didn't feel like he had time. It's on heavy. They pop through the shutter. Alex actually playing a meta game. You know, he goes left, commits back right, gets the meta in the spawn door. I don't know if it's enough. Players going down. Sai getting picked. It's 2v3. It's just Sai and Alex and High Five trying to win against this, but there's a lot of weak players. A sticky one pipe could win this all. So much. There's so many weak players. Alex could win this with one pipe. They're on top of each other and just can't connect it. And just a nail-biting last hold. Could have gone either way, and Morning Light just wins it out. But now, Corsia gets an opportunity to hold the second again. Trip with a really good bomb. Blind bomb, double direct sandblast. And there's nothing you can do about that. Bot Mode getting a bit aggro, trying to go for something. Gets picked off. Doesn't really mean much. They're both down 1. 30% ad. He will be up for the last hold. A classic Bot Mode phrase from back in the day. And... here we go. 25% ad from Corsia. And the last time they had a slim ad, they converted. You know, maybe they just need that little bit of pressure on themselves to try and convert something. It looks like they're going to do a more unconventional Uber through lower. They pop in, try to get on the med. Aizen is caught in. They all commit. No one's connecting on him. The direct gets onto Aizen, and now all of Corsia on this left side. They get Sai down as well. This is not looking great. All they have to do is take the fight slow and spam down this heavy. But High Five gets picked. Bot Mode gets picked. It's 3v4. This heavy's still up. Very, very weak. The med's up now. A lot of damage. They're getting all the cap time in the world. And it's not enough. And Corsia wins the rematch versus Morning Light, tying their season series 1-1. And I don't know what to say about that game besides Bot Mode's that man. Bot Mode is that man. But overall, I don't think anybody really had a bad game in this game. I think everybody had a really good job. Maybe the medics could have done better, but I think both teams were kind of, you know, selling out their meds to try and get some more things happening. But I think everyone played phenomenal. But Corsia, in the end, their players came out big when they needed it the most. And you know, Bot Mode, he still has it. He still has it. Do we have logs? I have no clue. Okay. All right, but yeah, I think that was That was probably one of the matches of the season. Maybe it wasn't like a 5-4 nail biter, but that was an absolute back and forth slugfest. I think one of the sloppiest games you could see, but for just for spectating value, you love those sloppy games because it's just complete action just everywhere on the map. And I don't know what else to say here, unless we have an interview. And it looks like we do. We have the medic from Corsia.
What's up?
Sup, Zilly. Anything to say about your?
I'm just feeding, bro. That's all I'm gonna say. It's been the last.
The meds
couple,
were getting pieced up.
The last couple of nights have been rough for me. I'll be real. I've averaged like 20 deaths a game.
Bot mode is
Yeah, that kid's cut.
No, whoa, no, damn. Hate to see it. But good win. First game against Morning Light in the season. A little bit of a sad game if you're you, I guess. You had the lead, lose it, but the lead this time did not leave you. You end up winning.
What's wrong with your voice?
I've been solo casting for an hour, and there's been no stalemates.
What the hell have you been watching?
Your game. Well, not an hour.
What do you have anything better to do?
No.
Should you be studying?
Enough. Okay. Anything to say about your ringers? No.
Yeah, we got fucking carried by a little.
You did get carried by your ringers, but I don't know what to say here. Great job. Maybe not by you.
Yeah, definitely not by me.
Pieced up by the soldiers.
I accepted my fate after a certain point, and I was just like, guys, let's just fucking dry push. I'm gonna die anyway.
I think both teams kind of said that. But I'm so surprised. 2 of those rounds you failed like 2 or 3 ad pushes. You get one off of like a 5% ad, and then you go off completely even everything.
Yeah, that was a little chat call.
You were actually just dry pushing literally everything.
Does your computer work now?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're playing next week. Windows. You know that, right?
No. I have 3 exams next week.
Oh, I have one tomorrow.
Damn, you get the dub in this.
Make sure yeah. I'm about to catch multiple L's tomorrow.
All right, well.
Alex said he would be here, but I think he pussied out, so.
Well, I think that's all we got. I feel like absolute garbage.
Yeah, you sound like it.
Yeah. But, thanks for watching. Great game. Just realized my monitor was on 60 hertz. But there's going to be some more good matches. Actually, Alex coming in now, so I have to stay even longer. Good job out there, Alex.
You called me out.
I did. You're a pussy.
I turbo fed first half.
Me too.
I don't know. You guys really came up in that last round. I think you got a 2K, Bot Mode got a 4K, Trip got a 2K.
Yeah, and I got a 6K.
You wish, but
it happened. I saw it.
But anything to say, about your ringers performances, Alex? I already talked to Zilly about this, but
Mamu's kind of crazy. He hasn't played the game in like a month or 2.
Yeah, I don't know how he did it. He kind of just absolutely destroyed the server. But,
yeah.
There's no logs, but I think you did pretty good, Alex, individually. I don't think honestly, I don't think anyone did bad besides maybe you could argue the medics. But both teams were kind of selling out.
I will. That was probably the worst I've ever played in my life.
Both teams were selling out.
Look forward to that performance continuing until you get in the server.
Yeah, when I was in the server, it wasn't much better. So. But I think that's all we got. I don't know what matches are next week. I'm not gonna be able to cast them. Make sure to donate towards the is it Free the Sea? I forget what. Yeah, Free the Sea, a donation fund drive. It's gonna be on Friday and Saturday next weekend. The Halloween Friday and Saturday. There's gonna be a bunch of events, and you get to see Dolphin torture himself for 2 days. So that would be fun, right? And that's all we got.
Sure.
Good games. Stay tuned next week. I'm not going to be casting any of them. But,
shout out to Maccabeus.
Oh, yeah, I forgot.
That kid's a bitch.
Jesus.
I don't think you're going to be invited to.
I
don't think you're allowed to be invited to another interview. But any shout outs, Alex? Zilly got his out.
A third of our team's banned now.
Do you think that's it?
Yeah. Actually, probably
your
half.
team's banned, yeah.
Yeah. So, see you next week for Scrims, Marmalu. Thanks for playing Pocket.
Yeah, your team's dead next week.
Yeah, that's true.
But yeah, that is all. Finally, we'll be out. I have to finish my physics homework. Yeah, like I said, definitely donate to that charity. Save those animals. And goodbye.